I'm out here at Rock Springs Run State Reserve, and it's a great morning. I don't know how many people have actually been out here hiking or doing anything else. Certainly there's been no hunting for a long time, and it is amazing. I've seen a possum, a cottontail, I've seen pileated woodpeckers, and something I have never seen out here before. And I've seen scrub jays, I've seen bear, I've seen all these other things, but I saw quail not more than 100 yards from where I park. So I'm hoping this Mother's Day 2020 walk, maybe I'll see a few more things. It's about 68 degrees. It's overcast. I expect some rain. I've brought gear for that. I have my bear spray. As I said, I have a rain jacket and a knife, which I don't expect to use. But I'm so excited to be outdoors again, where I can naturally have no worries whatsoever about social distancing. I'm looking at some work they've done here. They've had some controlled burns, which is good. They say it creates new growth and a lot of food. Oh, I've seen deer, by the way. Saw a deer on the way in. I'm so excited. It's spring. The new growth is amazing, and there's fruit everywhere. So I'm really hoping that that we have a chance to see something, maybe a large predator or something like that, even a coyote. I'd be so happy with a coyote. In the meanwhile, take a look at this. I think those are blueberries, and I'm not going to try them, but it looks like that's what they are. One of the reasons I love hiking at Rock Springs Run, I've never seen people sharing this trail with me. It's not like I don't like people, but there are times I don't like people. Today I just needed some solitude. I invited Karen, but it's Mother's Day. She decided she would sleep in, and I'm happy about that. And I'll see her soon for brunch with her kids. But you can't explain how good this is to be out with fresh air. It's part of your overall health, I think. Good nutrition, exercise, rounding bends on trails where you don't know what's on the other side of that bend. It's exciting. It's what life's about. And I don't know if I've mentioned, I'm so happy they opened this place up. I always like to get to places where multiple trails kind of line up, and in this area it's really nice because you get three different perspectives, views of what's going on. When I'm hiking alone, I like to check occasionally behind me. Not that there's anything so big and bad that it's gonna grab me, but because wildlife, it has a tendency to just know where you are, and when it feels safe, it'll cross a road some short distance right behind you. You wouldn't even know that. We had that experience with the Florida panther a number of years ago that was radio collared, and I knew the gentleman, the biologists I was with, and it passed probably 100 yards behind us. We had no idea. This intersection, this crossroads, quite literally, you can see the panorama view. You can see so much. One thing that I like about this area is, and I've covered this in other videos, go ahead and take a look, but the tracks in here, the footprints of a lot of the animals that live here. They're all over today. Of course, rabbits and small animals, but also it looks like either dog or coyote. I've not seen any bear prints, but a lot of deer, hog, raccoon, of course. And the neat thing about this place is you actually have an opportunity to see this stuff, but you have to get out here early, and that's what I do. I like to get up early. I like to meet the sunrise, get a good brisk quiet walk in. In fact, me talking to a camera, I don't like doing that, but one of the reasons, the main reason I started the Wild Journeys YouTube channel was to give you an idea of what it's like to get outside. I'm exhausted of politicians that supposedly represent us saying that they're environmentalists when in fact they're corporatists. There's a bear track. They enjoy taking campaign dollars over the priorities of the people they supposedly represent. It bothers me to no end, and anything I can do to motivate people to be a participant in the political system, then that's what I'm going to do. And this is pretty much my extent at this point in my life, but I certainly am angered by some of the attitudes of these politicians and the people they appoint to be professionals within their department or agency. It's really disgusting. And we the people, it is our government, and we the people need to make it our government by putting we the people in, not Democrats or Republicans who are blowhards, but people that are really loyal and have a genuine concern for all the things that a majority of the people in this democracy feel is important. Places like this are, you can't really describe it in words. It's perfect. The balance is perfect, and everybody should have an opportunity to see this for themselves and enjoy it. Disturb some deer. Normally, if you get here in the summer, you have to do this hike early. What I'll do is I load up on water and drink as much as I can before I hit the roads. That way you kind of hydrate. It's an extra tank you don't have to carry. Oh, here's something nice. Wow. Oh my God, this is gorgeous. Now you hunters out there, you know what this is. I don't hunt, and usually I find my feathers. I find them hiking peacefully. It's a turkey tail feather, wild turkey, pretty cool. Much of Florida is made up of sugar sand. That's what I've always called it, and it's indicative of ancient beaches that used to be here, and it's very similar actually to walking on a beach. I like to do squats. I like to do push-ups when I can when I'm walking. I like to use my arms just to get the full benefit of doing a few hour walk, but also the intensity of a workout without the nightmarish thoughts of having another minute of jumping jacks to do inside a gym with air conditioning. It's just, I don't like that. And so the sugar sand, like I said, is indicative of some Florida terrain. It's part of scrub habitat, which is what I would describe this partially as pineland scrub habitat. And it is also indicative of a beach that was here probably 10,000 years ago. Ocala National Forest, there's a place that still looks like a beach on Yearling Trail, which I've hiked, and that's on in the library, if you will, on the channel. Hope you check that out too. There's scrub jays just flew into the frame. I don't know if you could see those. That's a scrub jay. Hey baby. I love it out here. Like, when can you see scrub jays? Last time I got to this point, it looked a little different, which is always good to know your surroundings. It's one of those big junctions that I talked about, and I'm familiar with some of the hashes on the trees, and there's no signs that really tell you where you're at. A compass is probably good if you're out here, or keep your phone fully charged. Use the compass on that. But I saw a red-headed woodpecker, and now we're about ready to go down this trail, which is one of my favorites. I've got to be back to brunch by 10:30, so usually if I take a hike, a lot of people, they look at miles. I don't look at miles so much as time. If it takes me 45 minutes to walk in, it'll take me 45 minutes to walk out, and that works pretty good for me. Some days you are moving pretty quickly, other days you don't move so quick, either because it's rained and there's a lot of water. You know, things you don't plan for. Today I've got a mask, which is a new item that I'm carrying in case I run into people. I'm also carrying water in addition to the full belly of water that I had prior to starting the walk. I'm afraid of dehydrating. I've done it one time in Ocala. It was way over 100 for a number of minutes, and at least this was almost 8 to 10 hour trek. We don't even know. We left real early. We got back real late, and it was tough, and it affected me for 2 weeks at least. It just drained me completely. So I don't want to get into that type of situation again if I can plan not to. So anyway, another tip. So we're almost close to the van, and I'm on time, but I always like to, there's one little offshoot of this trail, and looks like everything's been recently surveyed out here. Other than that, there's no signs of people, and there's no signs that people have been here. In fact, that survey tape that I saw just now when I mentioned it, that was here 2 months ago, which is probably the last time I'd been out here. This trail is not kept, but it leads to a water hole, and I'm hoping that I might be able to see something there that is interesting. You gotta watch for poison ivy, snakes, prickly pear, cactus. There's a lot of pygmies here too, which I've noticed, but anyway, let me see what's at the end of this trail. This is the watering hole, and the vegetation is just so high at this point. I don't see anything out there at all. Sometimes there's deer that'll they'll feed at the edge for aquatic plants and tender type of vegetation. I also don't want to get ticks. There are a lot of ticks in Florida. From personal experience, I can tell you that Ocala is an example of a place that somebody got Lyme disease from a tick bite. We marked it back to that spot. In fact, the person that had Lyme disease and then had some complications with brain swelling a few months later that probably was linked to the Lyme disease. The Centers for Disease Control and the National Institute of Health became involved, just I guess create a record. She was fine, but the brain swelling was pretty serious, so if you can stay away from ticks, that's always a great thing. What other channel are you going to have somebody talking about Lyme disease, interrupting himself while continuing to speak about Lyme disease to look at scat? None. I am a scatologist, self-proclaimed. Rock Springs Run is always a wonderful place to go. Today in particular, largely because, at least from the prints that I've seen, animals are beginning to kind of occupy places that people hiked fairly commonly. And it's just a beautiful day. Don't know what that is. You hear that whistle, that sound? It's not a towhee. And my field glasses are in the van, largely because I thought it was going to rain. The only thing that got wet was caused by the sweat. Those squats will wake you up. Anyway, that's it from Wild Journeys. Have a great Mother's Day, and we'll see you soon. Back outside. Stay open, parks, at least for those of us who enjoy the solitude and beauty of nature. Have a great day. Bye-bye. I'm going to keep the camera rolling, I think, until I leave the park. I have a feeling that maybe we'll see some more, and I hate to not get it on video. Maybe that's it from Wild Journeys. Oh, there's a turkey. You see him running along the fence there. Not the greatest telescope, but you know, they could have been the national bird. Can't remember if it was Adams or Jefferson, I think. Maybe somebody else that wanted them as the national bird of the United States. There, how about that tidbit? Like you'd never heard that before.